The moment I saw his face, in my heart, I was like, WTF. Yeah, the face already told me, hey, like, this is not good news. It is cancerous.
Depends on, each individual interpretation of what cancer means to them, right? Some people, they see it as a sentence for them. This is death. This is the loss of opportunity. It triggers, fear, anxiety, sadness, depression, you name it.
I had no choice but to accept the fact that something was wrong with my body. How soon can we do the lumpectomy? Okay, yeah, let's do it. So the rest is history.
The word cancer do carry, a very heavy weight for them, right? I do need to speak, out of hope, even though the chance is slim, but hope is important. I do encourage everyone to at least seek some help. You are not alone in this world.
Although I won the battle, but that doesn't mean that I'm not afraid. It actually changed my entire perspective of life.
Welcome to the Thaiger podcast. Today's conversation is about what comes after survival, the quiet, complex chapter that begins once cancer treatment ends. The scans may be clear, but the healing is far from over. Joining me today are two people who live and work in that space between fear and freedom. First, Miss Jacqueline Yew, a cancer survivor who's turned her personal journey into a message of hope and empowerment for others navigating life after illness. And Dr. Ekkaparb Charoensuk from Miskawan Health Group, an integrative medicine expert dedicated to helping patients rebuild strength and confidence long after the hospital lights fade. Together, we'll explore what recovery really means, not just medically, but emotionally, spiritually, and humanly. This is Beyond Survival, the next chapter after cancer. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Thaiger podcast here at Miskawan Clinic. Today, we're going to be talking about something that affects a lot of people in the world, and hopefully it's a very hopeful story. I'm joined today with Dr. Ekkaparb Charoensuk and Jacqueline Yew, henceforth known as Eki and Jack. Thank you guys very much for joining me today. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm good too.
But yeah, no, we're going to be talking today about, the journey that is cancer and how people are sort of able to go through the process, but then that the battle isn't over. Even if you've defeated the enemy, the journey continues. And today we have Jack, who is a survivor. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, and of course, Eki over here, somebody who works with cancer patients as well. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys very much for joining me.
Thank you.
We're going to get started. First, I want to talk to Jack. So just a quick, let me hear a little bit about your background first before we get into your journey through this experience.
For me, I try to, have the prevention or awareness of my body as a woman since the early age. Because in school, we have some awareness program. I'm a Malaysian, by the way, and in our public school in Malaysia, when we were in standard 6, we were 12 years old, probably something like middle school age. There are seminars by the public health, medical personnel and doctors telling us about menstruation, sex, and also the woman's body structure and all that. So since young, we've taught to be aware of our body. And that's what I've been doing for years. I do my own monthly self-breast examination at home. On one fateful day, I detected a lump, quite a huge one actually, around this size. Yes, it's around the size of a prune. Yeah. And it's right here. Yeah, it was right here. And I must say, actually, when you heard other people telling the story, comparing me getting it, it's so surreal, right? When I first touched and, instead of going to the doctor immediately, you know what I told myself? Oh, it will be gone after period. After 9 periods, it was still there.
9?
Yep, 9 months later.
Goodness.
So, yeah, I would say it was quite a stupid decision. And also denial and fear, you know. And the first person I told was my mom. Just who else other than your mom, right? So I was like, Ma, come here into the room. At the time, I was still living in Malaysia. So I brought her into the room and I put her hand, Ma. And I was like, oh, I still remember my late mother. She's in heaven now, but yeah, I still remember her reaction. Oh, and then without saying anything, she went to her bedroom drawer and dug up a card. Call this doctor. And then I look at the card, it's a breast surgeon, And you see, I have been like branding myself as the smart one in the family, But, when fear kicks in, there's nothing smart at all. It's just called being human. I look at the card for a minute. And when I look up at my mom, shouldn't we go to a gynae, Mom? And my mom was more calm than me at the time. Excuse me, young lady, you have a problem up there, not down there. Why are you going to the gynae? So that was what my mom told me. And then I had no choice but to accept the fact that something was wrong with my body. And my mom was the one who actually pushed me. Like about 5 days after our conversation, she called me when I was at work. Have you made an appointment with the breast doctor? I was trying to still delay, like, oh, I'm having meeting, blah, 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 And at the end, I just tell myself, look, it will be you no matter what, if it's a fact, face a fact, whether good or bad. So I eventually went, and it was confirmed as cancer. Yeah.
That's, I'm glad your mom finally smacked some sense into you there and made you come around. It reminds me, just very quickly, this happened to my girlfriend recently. I think it was about a year ago. Woke up one morning and there was a lump. And she was also, just like you, somewhat in denial about it. And I insisted we go and get it checked out. And we go and make sure. Like, of course, whatever hospital bill, blah, 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 that can be scary a little bit. But certainly not as scary as what the worst outcome could be. Fortunately, in her case, it was not cancer. And it was something that would clear up. But the important thing to understand is, as a non-medical professional, you don't know the difference until you go and get checked out. Exactly. So I'm glad you did, which, of course, takes us to our medical expert over here, Dr. Eki. I wanted to ask, so in your experience, is this something that's very common with patients of yours, that they maybe wait too long? And how would you encourage people to maybe screen more regularly to get ahead of it? What do you think?
Well, I believe that now the healthcare system, they are doing better in promoting preventions and screening, as a way to detect early, because scientifically speaking, when you detect, something like cancer at the early stage, the chance that you will get it, cured is higher, right? So that's why it has been, promoted. And but I think it is also very true that, like this kind of thing still trigger fear, in a lot of people. Like even though we are better informed about, the prognosis and also new technology and medicine, drugs, that can handle the situation, right? But still, it's inevitable that you got hit by the fear too, because it's part of, our human experience. Like, so, and also I think it also, depends on, each individual, interpretation of what cancer means to them, right? Because, if for some, I don't know how about you, but some patients of mine think, oh, it's just, another, abnormality. Just let's take care of it. But for some people, they see it as, oh, this is like, a sentence, for them.
Yeah.
This is death. This is the loss of opportunity, or, so it triggers, fear, anxiety, sadness, depression, you name it. But it can lead, you into, maybe like Jack, like she need like some time to process, what happened to her, right? And so what I want to tell my patients is that, well, take your time, but don't wait for too long. And also, you're not alone. So if you have friends or family to talk to, go talk to them. And if that fear is too like debilitating, you may want to perhaps go to the hospital, ask someone, okay, let's take a look at this. What can we do about it? Try to find some help.
Right.
Yeah. But if you think that you don't need, to share the news with anyone, also I do respect that, because I have an aunt-in-law who, discovered that she had cancer, but she did not, break the news to anyone until she passed.
Oh.
So, yeah, I do respect that everyone has their own, process, choice, timing. But I do encourage everyone to at least like seek some help. You are not alone in this world.
Right. I mean, this is something that is, it's not a battle that you're meant to fight by yourself. And there's a reason why we have these support networks, not just of course the medical teams and the incredible advancements that have happened, but the emotional support, because that is almost like, of course, battling the cancer itself, but battling the negative emotions that can come with this diagnosis and this process of fighting the battle is it takes a toll in and of itself. So that takes me back to Jack. I wanted to ask, when you first heard your diagnosis, what was going through your mind? What were you thinking at the time, and how did you react to it?
Okay. On the day I went to see the doctor, finally, the first thing he did was ultrasound, right? Then he said, yeah, it's confirmed there is a growth in your breast, and the structure, it doesn't look like a regular structure. So there was a first red flag, right? Irregular. Then he ordered mammogram. So I went to further check with mammogram. And then when the mammogram film, at the time it was still a film, not the digital yet, the film came back. And the moment I saw his face, I kind of like, in my heart, I was like, WTF. Yeah, the face already told me, and he looked grim, and please sit down. I said, Jack, please sit down. And I sat down, and he pointed at me like, this is your growth, and you look like, but he used to try to relax me. Do you know the movie Avengers? I say, oh yes, I love it. I love them. I love Marvels. I say, I'm a sucker for Marvels. Do you know Thor? I say, yes, the God of Thunder. You have a God of Thunder in your breast. There was a lightning bolt kind of shape, yeah, that's wrapped within that tumor, right? So, and he like, this is not good news, and we gotta do a biopsy on you. Then, okay, please go to the, biopsy room. So the nurse took me to the biopsy room, and then I changed into the robe and all that. Just before he was prepping me, the doctor, just before I went to the bed, I think it was the awakening. It was an awakening moment. And I just talked, doctor, can I take a few minutes before we perform with the biopsy? I have some questions for you. And he said, yes, ask all you need to know. Then first question, in your 40 years, I say, you are, the kind of, well-known, renowned doctor, breast doctor in Malaysia. And in your 40 years of being a breast surgeon, what are my chances this is not cancerous? See how I structured my question? I was still having hope. Yeah. And then he looked at me. It is cancerous.
Oh.
Even before biopsy, I can tell you, because you asked for my experience, I've seen countless of films. Then say, okay. I took a deep breath and second question, doctor. Say, when I got diagnosed, at the time I was 39. Say, I'm still young. Are you going to have a mastectomy? Remove the whole thing? And I said, no. If we catch it early, a lumpectomy will do. I said, okay. I said, next question, which is the last. Then we can go on to do the biopsy. Then I say, yes. What do you want to know? And it all hit me all of a sudden, like, how soon can we do the lumpectomy? Yeah, it's like whole awakening for me.
Right.
And he laughed, he chuckled. Today's Monday. We can book you an operating theater by Thursday if you want. Okay, yeah, let's do it. So the rest is history.
Right. As soon as you are able to face it and stop being in denial about it, then you can do something about it.
And
right?
I wanted it done now.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to prolong the process. So I think
I
you're
had
right
waited
about
for
that.
9 months, right? So the baby was due. So get it done.
That's one way of putting it, I think. But yeah, I think that is interesting to hear that you took such a long time to be able to come to terms with this. But then finally, once the reality is in your face, you just, all right, got to man up, got to do it.
Yes.
And off we go. Well, I want to take a break to go to Eki over here and ask you. You've worked with many patients, right? What kind of emotional reactions? Like, what is the range of emotions that you see in your patients when they learn about their diagnosis and go through this battle?
It varies, just like I said previously. Some just think, oh, it's just another disease, like another illness. Let's deal with it right away. But some do, but I think the majority of the patients that I know, everyone is afraid, of this diagnosis, and also the word cancer do carry, a very heavy weight for them, right? It means so many things to them. Yeah. So, so most of the time, like, yeah, they do show fear, anxiety. Some do, yeah, they show the hope, but the hope is, kind of like
there's something
hidden
behind it.
Yeah. So I think it's very important that doctors, help patient to connect with the hope.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you help
How do I
people
do it?
deal with that
Well,
invisible fear?
It is not easy because I had my mom also, a cancer survivor herself. So I have to admit that I also do learn, from my own experience as the son of the cancer patient. So I try to, first of all, I need to connect with my own, self. Try to understand, what goes on inside myself when I have to handle, the news breaking, with the patients. Because I think everything that doctors feel, it shows. And also it's kind of like emanates, to the patients, right? So just like when Jackie shared her experience, like she knew right away that it was not, benign, right?
Right.
From seeing the nonverbal language of that doctor. So I think for me, I have to take care of my own feeling and be responsible for it. And also I need to find hope first because I do need to speak, out of hope to the patient, right? Yeah, even though the chance is slim, but hope is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would start with hope and then, try to connect with the patient, try to, see, how they feel, how they expect, to hear from me, right? So that's more important because when you hear, okay, they are expecting to hear something good, they're not ready for bad news. So how do we do that? Right? So we have to find some common ground to work with, right? So we slowly like bring them to, the moment of truth. You have to break the news and try to get them, align with your direction that you are leading them towards recovery, of course, right? But you need to get their engagement at the deeper level than just, okay, this is what I get. Okay, let's book the operation room. Not just that, but I think it's more important that we connect with that emotion.
Right. Well, you are the expert, right? You're the one who they come to with trust, because you're the one who knows what's going on. Like, I think so. That means that that's a position of responsibility on your part. That these people are coming to you with faith that you'll be able to provide answers, and of course that puts you in a difficult position, because sometimes the answers aren't what people want to hear. But at the same time, there's still something. There's always going to be some chance, and placing an emphasis on that is going to be helpful in the process. I don't know. It's a very it's a difficult situation. I've been affected by this as well. Like not personally, but my father is also a survivor as well too. He had a throat cancer, a tumor on the back of his tongue, and it was scary. And throughout that process, it was very. He was a persistent optimist. It's very funny because my father was a hypochondriac. Do you know this word? Yeah. He always thought something was wrong with him forever. And there was never anything wrong with him until finally there was. And then his whole attitude changed. It was like, wait, no, I can do this. I'll be okay. And eventually he was. So I think that's what I'm learning as I learn more and more about people who have gone through this process, is that it's not as terrifying as it once was. Of course, it's still very serious, but it does seem like I'm meeting more and more people who are survivors and have this wonderful story to tell. So Jack, I want to go back to you. You said you found out on Monday. You're like, all right, get me in the operating room on Thursday. So, what did you do when you were going through this process? Like, how long was the process from diagnosis to remission and going back to living your life? Yeah.
Let me think. It's been 8 years now. Well, right. The surgery took about 2 hours. Right, then my recovery journey started. Treatment, then recovery. It's all within 3 months' time. Yeah. After I did the lumpectomy, I rested for 3 weeks. But in between, I did go back to work. I rested. I think I had a 2 weeks of hospitalization leave in home rest. Then by the third week, I went back to work. So, to try to get back to normalcy, it probably is one of my way to make myself feel, like everything's okay. Everything's okay. You had the surgery. And then 2 weeks later, by the 5th week, I started my radiotherapy, adjuvant therapy, and it lasted 5 weeks. So it's like at that 5 weeks, actually, every day, except the weekend, Monday to Friday, every morning I will be at the hospital for my radiotherapy. And by noon, I'm back at work, at the office, having meetings, getting myself busy. I had actually a discussion with my doctor before, because a lot of friends and relatives that saw me and thought, are you crazy? You should be, at home. Because you are receiving the radiotherapy now. I said, but don't worry. I have discussed with my doctor and I got his clearance. He supported my decision. In fact, this decision was what helped me through the 5 weeks. Although, it depends on the body parts where we receive radiotherapy. Although it was on, the torso part, but it's also actually started to become painful after a certain sessions. Like for me, I remember from the 13th onward, I started to feel sunburned, sunburn, because imagine having a high dose of beam every day, for 5 weeks, only having Saturday and Sunday to rest and cool down. And luckily, I was privileged and blessed to be able to receive treatment in a private hospital. And at the time, that hospital in KL, they actually was the first to have the state-of-the-art technology for radiotherapy. So I remember they prescribed me the beam from Linex beam, and fractional. And unlike the traditional the radiotherapy, this Linex beam actually enabled me to have some cooling treatment right after. So every day, right after the beam that lasted about 10 minutes, I was led to the changing room to cool down, and I was able to, apply aloe vera. So that's the thing of, going to when the medical technology get better and better, the aim is to help, patient to reduce the impact, the painful impact, right? So, and then towards nearing the end of my radiotherapy, I was actually applying yogurt.
Yogurt.
When I got back home after work that day, because I received 21 cycles, by the 18th. And I start to see not only sunburn, but the skin get darker and darker because of the burning impact, right? Then I call the radiologist in the hospital that help me. Do you think I can use Greek yogurt on my skin? So yeah, why not? Help me to cool down. It's like, well, that evening at home, I was like, Greek yogurt.
Just lying in a bathtub.
Yeah, on the
Greek
bed.
yogurt.
I mean, okay, not only on my breast, but okay, the face too. Might as well. Yeah. So yeah, the whole thing took me around 3 months from end to end, and then a different chapter begins.
Yeah. As a Marvel fan, that sounds like way too much radiation and not enough superpowers. It's your attitude seems to have played a very important role in that. So, Dr. Eki, I wanted to ask, are there measurable ways that you can see how mental health and personality and disposition affects the recovery journey in patients? What do you think?
Oh, well, I think this is a common knowledge that has been passed on in many cultures, right? And also in many medicine principles, like traditional medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, or even the Bible. These sources that they talked about, the importance of having a strong mind, or the strength of the heart to deal with their physical situations, right? So so it's not uncommon, for our human experience, to understand this is like the fact. Actually, the CDC, also had an official recommendation, for people who had physical illnesses, that they should, look after their own mental and emotional well-being too, because that supports the recovery. Actually, in the year 2012, there's a group of Dutch researchers. They did publish, a meta-analysis of studies that shows the positive, effects of having a good mental health and the recovery of the physical illnesses. So it is, supported by both, beliefs and past experiences of human being, and also
Science.
Yeah.
Which is probably the most important reason, but yeah, I think you're right.
So I think it's, what our scientific publication did was just to confirm that this is, something that we should not ignore. Yeah.
It's funny how, it doesn't seem like something that would actually play a role, right? Like it's, we think about these things in more black and white, like you have an illness, here's how you treat it. It's just it's a step-by-step process, but actually the mental state is scientifically proven, plays a role in how effective your recovery process will be. And of course, the most optimistic person still might end up in an unstoppable situation. But no discounting the fact that it's going to improve your chances, right? Like, I think that's an important aspect of it. And you had, it sounds like you had a great time, Jack, like a great mental state. Not a great time, excuse me. It's not, doesn't sound like it was fun, but your ability to maintain that positivity throughout the process helped you a lot. Now, it's been about 8 years, you said, since your diagnosis and treatment. How do you, deal with, say, like the fear of this now? Now that you've been through the process, you know what it's like, you've survived. Do you worry in the future, or is it just something that you live with every day? Well, what do you think?
Quite good question, actually. Actually, I do. I worry a lot. But just that I don't show it in my face. Just before we started, I was actually having a good chat with Dr. Eki at the door there. I said, talking about the triggers, I admit, I do have trauma. After the entire ordeal, the battle, although I won the battle, but that doesn't mean that, I'm not afraid. The yearly mammogram and checkup comes and go for the last 8 years. Like, every time, the day that I was due for my yearly mammogram and ultrasound, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. And then when I was in the room, the ultrasound room, I was breaking cold sweat, my hand was cold. Okay, fine. The doctor told me the aircon was cold, so probably not me. But still, and when, the ultrasound was going on, and I was like, whether, undecided to look or not to look at the screen, And then when the doctor said, good, everything looks good. And it's like, a balloon, inflated balloon got deflated right away. Every year I go through that. And then in between, if there's any medical scare, it could be unrelated to breast, but any medical scare will act as a trigger to me. Like last month, every year, we have staff corporate health check in a local hospital here. Again, I go through the same thing, right? Because other than mammogram and ultrasound, this one is even more comprehensive. That means more triggers because they were checking from head to toe, right? So, and when, the gynae told me I might have some growth, and then it was like, oh, there were some fibroids detected in your uterine. My first question was, do I need to get operated on? That was my first question. And I was like, whoa, it's okay. There are some fibroids detected. It could be, one of the side effects could be resulted from, because I was receiving hormonal therapy for the last 8 years as an additional adjuvant, and actually the radiotherapy, the lumpectomy, they weren't the most painful. Guess what's the pain in the ass?
What?
The hormonal therapy.
Oh, really?
I had to take the estrogen blocker every day for the past 8 years. I just recently, get off it because I have a new breast doctor here in Bangkok, and thankful to this doctor and watchful eye, he stopped me on that. He said, "It's more than enough. You've been taking for 8 years, and your prognosis was very, very good. Actually, you don't have to take it anymore." Because uterine, lining get thickens, and all that. So he stopped it for me and said, leave it to fibroids. Because you will, when you soon kick into the menopause, the fibroid can, usually, can resolve on its own. If it doesn't, we'll talk again. So, like you say, I remember what you say when the way, doctor communicate is very important. And I'm so lucky, to have met this current breast doctor that I'm having. He's so positive, and optimistic. It's like, why are you still taking? The prognosis is so good. What, you're not in love with your hormonal therapy or what? I said, no, I was told to, after 5 years, I was told to extend another 5 years. No, just stop it.
Oh.
Yeah, then I stop it. But still, the side effects in the last 8 years was actually no joke. I'm a professional in my field, like every one of us are. We have to be professional at work, but sometimes it makes things even worse when I have to be professional, have to behave professionally, but deep inside, the mood swing, the emotional outburst, when I had to keep it, under wrap, that was really, really the killer.
Wow, that sounds difficult. No amount of yogurt was going to help that situation.
No.
So, yeah.
But cupcakes do.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It does seem like, this maybe touches on the importance of, getting second opinions and hearing a wider variety of expert opinions in order to come to a consensus about what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, it's your body.
Exactly.
And you need to understand what your options are moving forward. So takes me back to Dr. Eki over here. Look, people surviving with cancer, like we said, the journey's not done. What are some of the biggest gaps that you see in how people, deal with cancer care after their treatment?
You mean, let me put it this way. I think from doctor's side, the healthcare system side, I think our goal is just to get patients, into remission no matter what. So they would tell you, to try, everything that they have available, right? And most of the time, they did not pay much attention to the emotional issues or the process that the patient has to go through. And that's also, still true after the remission. They still look, for sign, of new growth, things like that. So the mentality doesn't change. So they did not offer much hope, I would say. So I think the gap is that maybe it's part of our training, to become a doctor. Like we have a lot of information to take in, right? But we don't have much time to learn about, human experience. Like, what would it be like, if we are in that situation ourselves as the patient? And I know that a lot of good doctors, they become good, better than the older version because they had, some health issue or become, the caregiver for their loved one themselves. That's when they understand, this is, the crap that patient has to, deal with and go through. So the gap is, yes, is how do medical people, incorporate, the care for the heart, in that practice. We already do, but I think we can still do more, right? Yeah. Like, how do we stay positive? How do we deal with our own fear, Because of the time, most of the time doctors, get the patient to do this, do that, out of their own fear. Mm-hmm. Fear of not doing enough.
Right.
Fear of missing out something that, the fear of getting blamed after, you missed this, tumor, you missed this, missed that. So they were like, I have to make sure that everything is covered. So without, caring, okay, what do the patient want? They didn't even bother to ask.
Right.
So I think this is the big gap here that I wish it get
Well,
filled, right?
that leads me to a follow-up question I want to
Yeah.
ask you very quickly. What are some ways that people say not just for people that are post-treatment, but maybe anybody that wants to take screening, what are some ways that we can regularly stay proactive about cancer, and what kind of testing can we do? How often should we do it? And what are the risks involved? And take it away, I guess, because this is something I'm getting a little bit older. I'm almost the same age you were when you were first diagnosed. So this is something that I think a lot of people, especially if you have cancer in your family history, I want to know. How can I stay ahead of this? And what would be the best way to do that?
Oh, well, put it this way. So first you have to remember that cancer cells are our own cells, that mutate and become not so, how do I put it? I don't like to say enemy. There's one scientist that say, I put it this way. This is very interesting. They said that she said that cancer cells evolve, to be cancerous because it cannot, stay in the same environment to survive. I mean, our body's environment are not, conducive for survival. So some cells, decide to evolve to withstand, the stresses and try to survive. So first we have to look, assess ourselves. Okay, are we, making our body, livable for normal cells, or are we promoting the growth of cancer cells? So if you are already living in high stress situation, you don't sleep, you put bad things into your body. So yeah, you may want to start earlier by checking, factors that shows, it may be inflammation markers, maybe, conventional cancer tumor marker. I think, they can be useful, but most of the time they are too slow, to respond and to show you, where the problem, already is taking place. So there are newer screenings that detects, the parts of the cancer protein, that our white blood cells, eaten up, because our white blood cells, our immunity, they do patrol and they try to eliminate abnormal cells. So this test will look inside the white blood cells and check if they have eaten any cancerous cells. If that test become positive, there is one con though. We don't know where we may not know where it is from, because this test can detect, the cancerous activity even before the tumor take place. So yeah. And I think also standard screening, annual checkup or breast manual tests, or gynae checkup. I think those are important things that you should, check, whether you are at the age when, you are at risk, so you should go screening, at the right timing too.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, you scared me. Stress, not getting enough sleep, bad things in your body. Oh no, these are all, I was like 3 strikes, I'm out. So, it is something that I need to take more seriously. I think a lot of people do. And it's just, it's something that you think about all the time. You already know, right? You already know, live a healthier lifestyle, your risk goes down. But unfortunately, there's no shortcuts.
No shortcuts. Yeah. And it is unfortunate that we are all programmed to think that we are an exception.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to think that, oh, not me, it won't happen to me. We feel sorry for those who, have it, but not me. But in fact, we are all equal.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the scary part of it, is that it seems like a roll of the dice a little bit. Yeah. Some people live incredibly healthy lifestyles, still get it. Some people do terrible things to their body and don't get it. It's
no.
It's one of those things. And of course, there are things that improve your chances and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. It is a scary process. So I want to ask, Jack, after your treatment ended, what were things that helped you? Like, of course, there are still triggers, right, that make you feel those negative emotions. But how did you get back on track with your life? What helped you to improve your mentality moving forward?
I must say it's my workout because I'm a quite active person. I started gym workout when I was in university, when I was studying in Australia. Then yeah, I actually quite an avid martial arts practitioner. Yeah, I started. My father put me through taekwondo when I was 12. Yeah, when I was 12. Then I just never stopped.
Oh.
I picked up taekwondo. Then I further to learn Muay Thai. Then a little bit of wushu. So eventually, it's kind of like shaped me. Like working out, and also I try to balance it like. Because I'm a Malaysian Chinese, but Chinese, we believe a lot in balance because of the theory of yin and yang, right? The yin and yang philosophy. So at one point, I was like, of my life before cancer, I decided, oh, it's a bit too much of yang, because I've been only picking up martial arts, right? Then I started to do contemporary dancing. So I tried to balance with the yin again. So it kind of like all these years kind of become my source of soul food, I would say. And this actually is very important in my journey of recovery post-treatment. I went back to the gym and boxing 6 months after, I wrapped up my radiotherapy. I also started to experiment with yoga. Although I was telling Dr. Eki just now, like, I don't really enjoy it because it's quite slow.
Right.
Martial arts is quite fast and all that, right? So when I started to do like, like, so it's like, when can this end? But it actually helped. It helped a lot. Then I realized the balance is very important. Like in anything, we must balance our mental health, by balancing our emotion, a balance of a healthy life, and a balance of diet, everything, the keyword here is balance. So that actually kind of shaped and helped me to take a shape on a healthy and positive recovery journey post that. Like I mentioned just now, I still have triggers every now and then. I'm just a human, right? I still have triggers, but I think the most important thing is, how do I manage it? How do I balance it? Yeah.
So creating routine was important for you.
My workout is my source of balancing act. And sometimes like stress. I guess for breast cancer patient or ovary cancer, anything, that to do with our female reproductive system. I realize stress level is one of the, make it or break it kind of factor for us. The stress level will affect our emotional level. And our emotional level then further affect our physical body. Like my sleepless night before the checkup, it's all like, you see, why do I get sleepless night? Because of my brain and my mental, my psychological state of mind that bring effect and manifested itself physically, then become insomnia, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I say a balance is very important. I still constantly have the fear every now and then. The cancer might come back, I was 39 back then, and now I'm 47. So what happens if it comes back, or if it's not come back here, it go downstairs? What happens? Like, am I like now strong enough as before to withstand the treatment? Do I still want to go through everything I had gone through 8 years ago? So when I think all this, it will bring tears to my eye, and I start to get more and more emotional until I decided, why am I behaving this way? Then slowly I have to, acknowledge it. I think we have to acknowledge how we feel. I'm done bottling up my feelings. I would just acknowledge how I feel. If I want to burst into tears, of course, not right in the event or any official event that I suddenly burst into tears, it would be crazy. But yeah, I give myself the space to feel, to be scared. It's okay not to be okay, because I can't be okay all the time, not 365 days. I'm a human too. Although I like to be an avenger, but well, So yeah, I think that the keyword for me, it works well for me so far in the past 8 years. Balance, acknowledge, manage, balance.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It seems like you were stressing me out with that stuff. I'm like, oh god, yeah, I know. I can only imagine what it's like, what's going through your head the whole time. But to be able to understand that there are things that you can control, things that you cannot control, and maybe to let go of the stress if it's an area where you're just like, you know what, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and to be able to acknowledge that and understand that if something bad is happening, there's help available. There are ways that we can move forward. And to take control of the parts of your life that you can take control of. So getting more exercise, eating healthier, de-stressing, and understanding that distinction, that difference about what I can control and cannot control is going to help with your mental state, I think. So very, very important, I think, to keep that mentality. Well, Dr. Eki, I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
What is something that, the support network, right? Like, if somebody in the family comes out with this diagnosis, right? Of course, everyone who's around that person is going to want to do things to help them through this process. What are some ways that family members, friends would be able to help somebody who's going through this process from diagnosis to recovery and even beyond that?
I would say that first the very thing that you can do is first to be mindful. Like you have to, because you have to be the strength, for the family members who, get diagnosed with cancer, right? This is like not a light issue. So first, you may get, attacked by the fear or anxiety too, but I think to embrace it like a human being, just, give space, for grief. You can express your, sad or worries, with the, if you ask me, I think it is also healthy, to be open about how you feel, with even to the patients, because, I think it's important for the patient to know that he or she, has someone to be on this journey with them, right? And I think by helping, your loved one face the fear, like what Jack's mother did, that is an act of bravery, right? Like she did all that, like to get Jack, to get treatment, the proper one, is the act of love, out of bravery. So I think this is like the small thing that you can do. Just be there. Just don't run away. Just face your fear too. And also like cry together. It's okay to do that. Yeah.
It feels like it's one of those, it's a big moment in life. Like,
Yeah.
and similar to, whether it's a wedding or a funeral or waiting for that college acceptance letter or even just seeing a good movie, having somebody there to share that experience with you changes it completely. And having somebody who's understanding what you're going through and is with holding your hand, empathizing with you. And, maybe it's one person, maybe it's many people. Everybody's sitting around anxiously waiting for the news. That in and of itself is helpful. To make you feel like you're part of a community and know that you have that support. So just being there.
Just being there. Yeah. First thing. Yeah. But the rest, I think what you can do, like to support the recovery and the treatment is that, to be the source of information. Yeah. You would do like a lot of homework, trying to cook them healthy meal, or take them out to the park maybe, or to give them a call, okay, how are you doing? How how was the chemo session, you know, things like that, you know, like just don't let, you know, the fear or the worries of like, you know, because some friend of mine, like they were like, oh, they had no idea like what to do or say, you know, to their family members who get diagnosed with cancer. So I just want to encourage like everyone to just face the fear, and also like you can be vulnerable, you know, even to the patient too. Maybe that is strengthening, you know, the patients too, because this is not easy. Yeah. So
I mean, as somebody surrounding, you know, if a loved one is facing this diagnosis, fear, anger, denial, these emotions can take hold of the people around the person getting diagnosed as well. So it's very important not only that the patient faces this head on, but also the people around can do it as well. So that, remember, this is it's a battle, it's a journey, and the more people you have on your side, the more you know, the stronger you can be going through it, I think. Well said. Well, back to Jack. I want to ask you, since your recovery, how have you shifted? Like, what are your sense of importance? Right? Like, how has your life focus changed? What's more important to you now than before your diagnosis?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the good question. Actually, yeah, it did shape a lot. If let's say before, I probably would procrastinate. You know, procrastinate.
Sounds like you did. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's obvious, right? After the entire cancer experience and coming out of the battle, it actually changed my entire perspective of life. Right? Say what you want to say. Now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, but today. And do what you want to do. Go chase your dreams. You know, things that I wanted to do, but I did not have the courage to in the past. And now, like, hey, I just, fought with the angel of death and I came back. So what am I not able to do now? So, yeah, that's why you see me here now in Bangkok. I mean, this is the fourth country I've been, you know, after my cancer diagnosis. And I've been living life the way I just wanted to. Whereas, let's say before this, I think most of us here will be able to relate to being an Asian, raised an Asian. Especially, I was being raised a Chinese, you know. Family values are very important. And sometimes the importance of family values might actually come your way of chasing dreams. You know, I think Dr. Eki here totally know what I mean. So, you know, I was actually a banker, you know, like probably once upon a time, you know. For like 12 years, I was a banker, marketing strategist, you know, in the corporate world. I say, earning quite decently, you know, enjoying life, but, you know, couldn't find the fulfillment until I joined the United Nations, like 15 years ago. Started my fundraising career, right? And then I wanted more and more. I wanted to do, not only to get more, but I find that this might be the path for me. And I wanted to do more. How? You know, for the nonprofit, the more we can do is via, you know, international connection and to expand, you know, internationally our career. That's where the value comes.
Yeah.
Family value, like, you know, like that's like Jacqueline A, Jacqueline B, Jacqueline A, Jacqueline B. How about your parents? They're aging, blah, blah, blah. And that's, but, you know, I want to chase my dreams. I started to see the progress of my work, that what kind of difference I can make, you know, I can help to make. Despite me being a bucket, you know, a drop in the bucket, but a drop is still a drop, right? And how can I make this drop more impactful? But in order to achieve the impact, there might be some sacrifice that I got to do. So my whole perspective changed, especially after my cancer experience. I sat down with my parents, my family, and even my sister and brother-in-law. Look, I want to do this. I want it so much. This is my chance. I just came back from, the idea of death, right? And I don't know how long I will have, because all of us human beings are so, are so fragile, vulnerable. Life is so unpredictable. And after, the entire ordeal, I want to live for myself. I want to live my life with a bang, just doing whatever I want to do. Then, and then I sat my family down. I told them how I feel openly, and they supported me. Then off I went, and I never looked back in the last years.
That's a very important point, I think, especially as you said, like maybe the Asian background, but I think it's a universal thing. Families want you to go out there, make money, be self-sufficient. But at the same time, so many people do that by sacrificing their fulfillment and those kinds of goals. So this is something I struggled with personally for a long time. I was a teacher for a very long time, which was great. The money was pretty good. I had a lot of fun doing it as well. I only worked 9 months a year. That helped too. That was nice. But now I find a lot more fulfillment in the kind of stuff that I'm doing. Being able to have conversations like this with you, and I do stand-up comedy as well on the side, which is something that is like more of a creative outlet as well. So, and I'm making a lot less money now, but that's okay because I'm a lot happier in doing those pursuits. And what's funny is I think there is a fear associated with that you're like, okay, what is everybody going to think if I'm taking this different path? But some catalyst like your cancer journey made you realize, all right, what's really important to me? Where am I really going? What am I doing with this life that I have right now? And that's just such a great thing to be able to come to that realization. And it's something I hear all the time about advice from older people who are looking back on their life. And I think it's warming my heart to hear it again here as well. So was side question, Dr. Eki.
Yeah.
Was doctor your goal, or was that the family pressure on you, huh?
It's a very good question because,
A trap question.
before I go to med school, I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, but I want to, turn ordinary children to be geniuses because I think, we have so many kids, out there, full of potential, but we did not, offer them the best of opportunity for them to evolve to become the best version of themselves. And I realized that when I was in school. So I thought, okay, I want to do this. But, I grew up in a typical Thai family, went to Thai school. So no one supported that idea. So everyone, point their fingers to med school right there, your future is there. So I did regret, going to med school a little bit, but I also had to thank that opportunity because it has brought me to many beautiful experiences, such a privilege, to learn about, the such journey, of patience, and also like to deal with my mom's journey too as a, young doctor. I was like quite arrogant back then, but that, experience did taught me a lot, like how to be more humane. No, I mean like to be like more fully human, as a doctor, because I think that is what, every patient wants. Like they need to have a doctor who understands what it is like, to be
empathetic, right?
Yeah, to be human, to be empathetic. And so your question was just that?
No, you're good.
Just a side story?
I mean, because I think at the end of the day, right, this might be something where almost like an arranged marriage almost, right? Like it feels like there might have been some pressure to get into it, but there's no way after having this career and meeting these people and seeing the impact you have on their lives that doesn't bring some fulfillment as well. So I think that's wonderful that you've been able to embrace this career and
to embrace. But well, actually, I'm also thinking about like doing something else too. Like,
all right. Well, we'll talk about that after. We're going to keep the focus over here. I like you where you are helping people out, but in any case, it's your life, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone gets to live their own life, to the fullest. Yeah.
Well, we'll find out what's next in the life of Dr. Eki soon. Guys, we're just about to wrap up. Before we leave, Jack, I wanted to ask you, are there any last thoughts or any words of wisdom that you want to say?
Yeah, I say to everyone out there, it's okay to be not okay. It's okay to be afraid, but don't learn from me. Don't wait 9 months. If you detect anything in your breast, just go and get it checked out. It might not be that bad. When I think back, if I had just gone the moment I detected, probably it may not be cancer at the time. But it's a question mark now because I went 9 months later and it was, confirmed with a biopsy. It's cancerous, but
it is, yes.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I say don't wait. I'm gonna say every human make mistake, but just do not make the mistake that may cost your life.
Right. Yeah, well said. And finally, Dr. Eki, is there anything you'd like to pass on to our audience?
So, well, if you happen to get, diagnosed with cancer, just face it. And even though, you can feel your fear or, you get so anxious about it, just try to listen, to them. I mean, them as in like the fear and the anxiety. What messages are they like trying to tell you? Maybe it tries to remind you that, okay, you have, limited time on this earth. You may want to do something else, more meaningful, maybe like Jack, because a lot of people, face their diagnosis and fear for their life, that they fear of losing it. But what I want to encourage you to think is that, okay, then what is it you want out of your life? Why is it like so fearful for you to lose it? Yeah, right? So if you find the meaning, it may, encourage you to go fight the cancer, Yeah, better than like just, try to hang in there in the journey with just, fear, infested in you. That is not helpful. Yeah. So
finding purpose, finding meaning, having support, and of course, not ignoring the signs as well. These are all important parts of the process. And yeah, it's not an insurmountable battle. So many people have such this strong negative connotation, and of course, it's very serious. But at the end of the day, there's modern medicine, there's a support network, there are ways to handle it and to get past, what the big C, as we call it. And one of these days, hopefully it doesn't happen. But if it does, be brave and face it head on.
And lastly, you can also have, second and third opinion if you're not happy with the first one.
Sure. Yeah. That's true too. So don't be afraid to question things.
Yeah.
As well too.
Talk to your doctor. Yeah.
It is your body.
Ask questions. Yeah.
At the end of the day. Yeah. Well, Dr. Eki, Jack, thank you guys so much for sharing this conversation with me. I've learned a lot. And I really want to thank Miss Khwang for hosting us here as well, because this is a scary subject. And seeing the way that you've gone through this journey, seeing the kind of help and advice that is available to people these days is very comforting for me as someone who has had family directly affected by this. And I'm not going to lie to myself. It might be something that I might have to deal with one day too. So understanding that people have been through this and what kind of attitude to take into that battle is a very comforting thought. So thank you both so much for joining us. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon. Well, hopefully not too soon, doctor. But
Maybe not as a doctor.
well, cheers, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next Thaiger podcast. Cool. We're good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We should have a photo together.